Good morning, everyone. As you prepare for meditation, I invite you to take a deep cleansing breath. Just breathe in that breath of God. This meditation is a meditation of contemplation. So I will read a passage and ask that you contemplate on it. So just become aware of your body as it is sitting in the chair. Come aware of your breath as you breathe in and out the life of God. And this is from The Voice of the Master by Eva Bell Werber. I know only life. The quietness within. Let quietness be in your heart today. Peace be in your soul. Do not allow fear to creep into that secret place of the Most High. I am the life of you. So be at peace with me this day. In the quietness of your being, become acquainted with me. Let my gentle words guide and direct all of your activities. I am the divine within. Recognize me. Then shall you radiate peace and love. I invite you to go deeper, just a little bit deeper within. Your house shall be filled with joy, and all who step over the threshold shall feel a hush within themselves. A stillness shall pervade their hearts. Then shall they wonder what has confounded them so short a time ago. You shall be a beacon upon a high hill to guide and help turn them back to the quiet spot within their souls. the quietness within. You shall be a beacon upon a high hill to guide and help turn back to the quiet spot within their souls. I invite you to take a deep breath. Bring your awareness back to the room. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. Thank you.
Welcome.
I'm glad to see you. We need some instruments.
We have come together as a family. We have come here as we are. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise a roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. We sing in celebration. We sing with words of prayer. We affirm our life as sacred. We declare that peace is here. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. in His Spirit is in His place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Right here and right now.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Happy Father's Day. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Ava Sperados. We are a center and a spiritual home that is an open and inclusive community honoring all people from every background, all races, sexual orientations, gender expressions, and spiritual paths. No matter who you are or where you are on your journey of faith, you are always welcome here. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and our vision is a world that works for everyone. If you are here with us for the first time, please raise your hand and let us wave and properly greet you. No one? Oh, welcome. We have someone. A gentle reminder to silence your cell phones and place them safely away so you may more fully participate. We are so happy to have you here with us for our service today. We are grateful for your presence. And now our centering music performed by the very talented Gilman Carver.
Yeah, let's just get centered and find that special place within and let it heal. Joy fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. Peace fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. Love fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. I allow Spirit to do what it does. I allow Spirit to do what it does.
Thank you, Gilman. Thank you. Our reading this morning is from the Science of Mind, Yourself. O weary heart, laden with earth's weight and care. Can you hear me? Okay. Start again. O weary heart, laden with earth's weight and care. O feet, stumbling on the way, bleeding and bare. O arms outstretched and hands upheld in prayer. O back, which so oft has felt the lash and rod. O soul, which cries aloud for the living God. O life, struggling to free itself from the clod. Know this, There is no power from without. Yourself must answer every fear and meet every doubt with some divine indwelling power, which you yourself, upon yourself, shall shower. And giving, take, and taking, give unto that life which you yourself shall live. My name's Frankie Jones. I'm a lay practitioner here and your board clerk. So just recognize with me that there is only one power, one presence, one divine intelligent energy that is the source of all that is. It's the source of our life, source of our being. And in this relationship, this knowingness, this beingness of the one, I speak my word today for this service, for the manifestation of God known as Sonja and the message that she brings here today. Bless each and every one here, our musician Gilman, our tech David, our ushers, our greeters, everyone who serves this community, and all of you that are here. This is a day of love, a day of life, a day of honoring our body, this amazing vehicle that houses our soul. And I just know that it is good and is very good. There's a message here today for each and every one of us. I invite you to open your heart and your mind to receive. And I give thanks. I give thanks for this community, for this center, for this teaching, this philosophy. It is so good. And we are blessed. And we are a blessing. And I release and let it be. And so it is.
I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. And I know the light of love shining in my eyes. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. A little birdie told me that life is so sweet. As I listen to her song, I know I am complete. I have all the keys to love, joy, and peace. The power is infinite, love will increase. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. And I know the light of love shining in my eyes. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Little birdie told me life is so sweet. As I listen to her song, I know I am complete. I have all the keys to love, joy, and peace. Power is infinite and love will increase. Yes, I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Happy, and I'm healthy, and I'm wealthy, and wise. And I know the light of love shining in my eyes. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise.
All right. Good morning. morning, everyone. Excuse me. A physician who specializes in the mind-body medicine shared a story in a lecture. And the story was about a woman. She had severe, almost debilitating pain in both her arms, and she had been to many different types of doctors with no relief or any explanation of what was going on with her. She had symptoms, but nobody could diagnose what was going on with her. So she finally decided to go to a mind-body medicine specialist. And he had a process that he used with several of his patients of guided imagery. So he, as a doctor, guided the woman through the process. She said that she imagined wrought iron bars clamped down on both of her arms. Now, the doctor asked her what these bars represented. And this is what she had to say. Although it felt odd, it just felt that she was constrained. So at this, she got a flood of memories that came back to her. And what she remembered was that she had a very stern grandfather, very stern. He was a stern man, and he had died a year before her pain began. She had taken care of him in his final years, but she never felt that she was appreciated or valued. Never felt that way. Rather, she felt the weight of his words and his actions towards her, even though she was taking care of him. So she started having this pain a couple years after he died. And since his death, she hadn't liked to think about it. Caring for him and his passing had been very painful to her, stressful, and she had tried to put it out of her mind, all this that she had been through. But in putting it out of her mind, she had buried it deep within her body. So after more of this guided process, she came to understand that emotional pain behind physical pain in her arm, she began to understand that it was all emotional and it was showing up in her body as physical symptoms. So she worked and worked. She did the deep work of trying to heal herself, to alleviate this pain. And with much work, she began to feel better, and she was able to alleviate this pain. So our body remembers. Our bodies remember trauma, disappointment, and pain. Sometimes the trauma is ancestral. So, Ernest Holmes says, the greatest discovery of all times, is mind that responds to our inner instructive voices. Our inner instructive voices, those voices within us, that maybe there's a recording going on. Maybe there's something that you keep reliving. Maybe there's a story that you keep telling yourself in your mind. Those are instructions. So, the greatest discovery of all times is our minds. And the memories, Our memory is the storehouse of all our conscious thoughts. And guess what? It's active. It is active. It is working every day. Got a little frog in my throat. So our so our thoughts are active. Our bodies operate upon our thoughts, and it must also be operated upon by our memories, since our memories are active. Anybody have any memories that they keep reliving from their childhood? Those things are active, and where do they show up? In our bodies. Many of you know that, wait a minute, back up, Sonja, back up. There's a lot of things for us to celebrate today, right? Let's acknowledge that before I go on. So this month is Pride Month, correct? Today is Father's Day. And today is Juneteenth. So that brings me back to that ancestral part that I was going into. We can carry ancestral things in our bodies. Maybe you've come from a different country where there was some war or trauma or whatever there was, and your ancestors faced that, and you now carry that in your DNA and in your body. So let's talk about Juneteenth. Juneteenth is Emancipation Day. So today in the United States is a holiday of Juneteenth, the celebration of the emancipation of enslaved persons. And so Republican President Abraham Lincoln, General Order Number 3, on June 19, 1865 in Texas, announced the freeing of the slaves. So let's give him a hand. So around the country, a lot of people are celebrating Juneteenth. It is Emancipation Day. And there was one woman, her name was Opal, that she really pushed towards having this become a holiday, and it became a holiday in 2021. So I just want to talk about the trauma. So by healing, we can heal these traumas and these things in our bodies by just going in and doing the deep work. So, and by healing on an individual level, these trauma, we can collectively affect generations to come by healing it. I need to heal it in myself first. That way I'm not passing it on to my children and passing on to my children's children. And then, the cycle continues of this trauma. So I need to heal that in myself. And by doing that, do the deep work. But I have a story to tell you. So after leaving my career, I had a career in medical for most of my life. And I was the regional administrator and marketing manager for this company. And so one day, after COVID happened, COVID started being recognized in March. So April, my company decided to downsize the managers. So up top. And they decided to utilize now the corporate office as the administrators for the other smaller offices in the regions. So needless to say, I was downsized and let go. So I, went home and I threw myself into hobbies. Like I told you guys, I had a real Amazon addiction. But I threw myself into hobbies like I started canning. Because, you go to the grocery store and the shelves are bare. So I decided to take up canning, and I'm very good at it. Right, honey? I have dry canning, I have water bath canning, and I have pressure canning. So I was doing the thing. So I have jams and jellies and jalapenos and beans and all kinds of stuff. I started doing meals as well. So like pot roast, I canned it. So I started doing canning, which gave me a lot of pleasure. I started gardening. I had gardening projects and ordered, a tower garden. I have kale almost to the sky now outside. And Daryl was just telling me today, Sonja, what are you going to do with those tomatoes? They're practically in the neighbor's front door. So I started gardening. I started doing things in a big way. But so Daryl worked outside of the home, and so it was an adjustment. So he works outside of the home, and we would have a routine that happens. He would come home, he would go directly into the steamer, the sauna, and then he would shower and get dressed and come downstairs. I would be preparing pretty meals. I love plates, by the way. I love plates. If you ever want to give me a gift, give me some plates. I love plates. But I would prepare a meal. And I'm going to wrap this up to how it affects your body. So, like I said, Daryl would do his thing, and he would come downstairs, and we would have dinner together. And so we were kind of timed. So this particular day, I was waiting, and I was waiting, and he wasn't coming downstairs. And I went up, and I'm like, where are you? What are you doing? Oh, I'm coming down right now. Very uncharacteristic for me. I was unreasonably angry. So out of left field, unreasonably angry with him. He sat at the table. I could barely eat my dinner. He's like, okay, I'm ready. And I'm like, I've been waiting for you. I was so unreasonably angry with him, I started to cry. I started to shaking before the cry, and then I started to laugh. How crazy is that? He just sat there like, okay, I'm here, I'm eating, let's eat. But I say that all to say, a couple weeks before that, I started getting a pain in my side. And I just didn't know what it was. And pretty soon, it was so painful. It started off as like a pimple, and it started to grow. And pretty soon, I couldn't turn. It was very difficult for me to turn. What was showing up in my body? Anger. I was so upset with leaving the job, but I wasn't dealing with it. It showed up in my body as a boil, and I had never had one of those in my entire life, and I just pray that I never have one again. But I went upstairs, and I showered, and it exploded, and I felt relief. But it ended up showing up in my body in the form of a boil. And Louise Hay says that a boil is anger, boiling over, seething. It's bad and it's toxic. Our bodies are a perfect example of the creative process and the creative mind. Both ours, collectively, unconsciously, and that societal mind, are all one. So, not only was I feeling anger about leaving the job, I was in that race consciousness of fear and doubt, because a lot of people were losing their jobs at that same time as well. Companies were closing. I was tied up in looking at the media and what the media had to say about the conditions. I was looking at the grocery store shelves, and I was in fear of lack, limitation, and I was angry. And it outpictured that one day. It felt good once I released it, and then I started to do the deep work. And the deep work for me was contacting a practitioner. So I called my dean, Kathy Hearn, and she introduced me to a practitioner emeritus from Agape, but she teaches our practitioner classes now for Centers for Spiritual Living, for CSL. What else did I do? I started a book study group, right, Kurt? Kurt is a member of my book study group. He and his wife, and we had some other members as well. We started to meet once a week and read these dynamic spiritual books. I think right now we stopped. The last book we read was This Life is Joy by Roger Teal. So his wife, we were talking yesterday, we have a prayer call on Saturday mornings at 7 a.m., and we were talking about what is the next book that we are going to start reading. So I'm just saying all that to say I had to do the deep work. And the deep work for me was getting back into that consistent spiritual practice, reading spiritual books, seeing a practitioner, and having prayer partners. So my prayer partner that I've had for years is Reverend Linda Overton, and so we call each other in the morning, and we typically do the Science of Mind magazine, and we pray together after that. So I'm just saying that we have this wonderful power that in our bodies and our consciousness and what we create with our minds, but we have to be careful on how we're using it. Now, I can manipulate it. I can try to manipulate it, but I cannot fool my body. You can only manipulate so much, and then your body is going to show up whatever it is on your body, in your body, as dis-ease, discomfort, dis-ease. So like I said, the solution for me was to get back in my spiritual practice. And Bob Proctor says, what you think about, you bring about. So it's in your mind, that wonderful thing. Man's greatest discovery is that we could think. Proverbs 23rd chapter 7 verse says, for as he thinks in his heart, so is he. And then our founder, Ernest Holmes, says it this way, life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. So we have to be careful. Man, by thinking, can bring into his experience whatsoever he desires if he thinks correctly, and become a living embodiment of his thoughts. This is done by holding thoughts, but by knowing the truth. This is not done by holding thoughts, but by knowing the truth. Knowing the truth. Knowing the truth. Do we know the truth? Yes, we do. We know the truth, right, Ed? We do. Yes, we do. Okay. And what is that truth? Perfect, whole, complete. Divine emanations of the one God, made in the image and likeness of it. Perfect God, perfect man, woman, self, perfect self. I like that. So we have the opportunity today, and I'm switching topics again. So perfect God, perfect man. We are all perfect, made in the image and likeness of God. You are individualized expression of that one God, one power, one presence, expressing as Eva, Iris, Ellen, all of us together. I like that. So today is Father's Day as well. So we have the opportunity to honor our fathers or anyone that played that important role in your life, recognizing that the masculine dimension within all of us is is a representation of spirit as a source of our material needs. A representation. So what does that mean? We know what it means to represent. So we are the representation. So what is modeled to us in our life, don't we give that back? Don't we give it back? So you can become entitled or appointed to act or speak for someone, Fatherhood is a symbol of the goodness and integrity of life, and Father's Day is an opportunity to share these divine attributes with others, to consciously live with a sense of spirit at the very center of our being. And Scott Aubrey said that. So today we honor our fathers or whatever person played that role in your life. Some of us didn't grow up with our fathers. I didn't grow up with my father. However, I did see my father every week. He wasn't absent, he just did not live in the home. My husband's father, very nurturing. Name is Sonja Prince. Daryl is a representation of that. The way he nurtures our children, the way he nurtures our grandchildren, the way he nurtures and cares for me. I'm the biggest kid he has. His father was very nurturing. His father always made sure that they sat down to a meal. His mom was a nurse, so she was called away a lot. And his dad was a merchant marine, not a merchant marine, he worked on the docks. But he was home in time for his children to come home from school, to make sure they had lunch, to make sure they did their homework, to make sure that they were hugged, loved, kissed, each one individually got what they needed. He recognized that they were all different and gave them exactly what they needed. So I applaud my father-in-law for doing such a fantastic job of nurturing my husband, and he represents that very well in this life. He's very giving. So right now, I'd like to bring up Ellen Marie Drummond Curtis. Ellen is an artsy, smartsy mother of one who carves widespread unity and passionate connection. And she's going to do a spoken word poem for Father's Day. Come on up, Ellen.
Yes, Sonja, thank you, Jill. I'm so pleased to be here again. And Ellen, I'm so passionate about us living our divine purpose and celebrating that in connection with our integrity and our serendipity in life experienced readily right here in our Sacred Heart. And I really hope you enjoy this piece. It's called For the Father We All Actually Have. Good. Already, that's good. Cloaked with a strength that brings me home to a world and to a presence I once did know. I carry your guidance here in my heart and know that you have held me from the start. Your dignity is divinity displayed. You have known me, and you have stayed. Growing in grace with you as my friend, I remember our joined world as one with no end. You are my Father, and I have sought you in those moments when I forgot you. Safety in your warmth, the fire Mother began, is the hope for our family, trusting that we can be there for one another. King upon throne, I have loved us all greatly among the wild unknown. You are the rock of this clan, besides Mom. And we have loved this peace more in every song. Your gift of authority is authenticity rendered, and I need that light in every sorrow remembered. You remind me of my mission in every dim worry. Dad, I love you, for your wisdom is ever enduring. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ellen. And now, if I can turn your attention to the screen, David has prepared a slide presentation. No, just go ahead and play it. These are the fathers that we're recognizing today. Oh, that's nice. This is my father, Kenneth A. Cummings. Lyle Swenson. Oh, that's sweet. That's beautiful. All right, thank you so much. So in closing, oh, and Phil's dad right there. Okay, so what we'll do, Phil, is you can put your father's picture on the piano and everybody can look at it and, you know. All right, so in closing, remember, the mind follows the instructions that it's given. It's important to be careful what instructions and imprints we give, and important to remember that our bodies will store emotions or thoughts that we try to push down. There are personal, societal, and ancestral traumas that we talked about that can be stored in our bodies as well. And so we don't want to ignore them or have spiritual bypass to them, saying, well, that's what happened then, and it's not occurring now. But we want to go in and we want to deal with the traumas and those things so we can release them out of our bodies so they're forever released and so they don't fester. So by bypassing our traumas, we're telling our bodies that they cannot have freedom, and that this can manifest as, again, discomfort and dis-ease. And freedom, Adashante says in Emptiness Dancing, freedom is a realization that this deep, deep peace and this unknown are what we are. We are God expressing. So know that the body is a powerful tool of the divine, manifesting whatever is imprinted on that first cause. First cause. So your body is like your communication devices. I know we have cell phones, but your body is your communication device. How are you communicating with it? How are we communicating with our bodies? So in our Declaration of Principles, we say we believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creations, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. We believe in the incarnation of Spirit in every person, and that all people are incarnations of the one Spirit. You, me, we, together, incarnations of the one Spirit. We have choice. I choose today to pay attention, to go inward, to look and feel what's going on with my body. And then work from a place of knowledge, work from a place of truth, work from a place to heal that, whatever that might be. So this week, I invite you to, on the back of your, you should have something, on the back of your insert, there is a practice. So this week, I invite you to scan your body in meditation. Become aware of the sensations and the tensions that are stored or hiding in your bodies. And work from a place of doing the deep work. Contact a practitioner if you discovered something that you need to deal with and you can't see the wholeness, the perfection of who you are, then we are available. There are practitioners in this room that are willing and just ready and want to be of service to you. Can I have all the practitioners please stand? This is the ecclesiastic arm of this center. We want to pray. We want to pray for you. Because in recognizing that truth of who you are, we're also affirming, confirming, and recognizing and knowing the truth for ourselves. So it's a beautiful thing. We have this loving relationship with prayer, don't we, Brother Mark? And we want to pray with you and for you. So please, put in a prayer request, and we will be praying for you. We receive them, we type them up, they go out to all our practitioners, and we will hold that space of prayer for you. Okay, so lastly, we are incarnations of the one Spirit, the outpicturing of God. We are divine distributors of the same power, and it shows up in our bodies. One time before I talked about the apartment of your mind, there was 3 floors, but the person was unaware of the second floor and the third floor. The third floor are where there is limitless possibilities. Limitless possibilities. So, in closing, just know, just go in, know what are you thinking, what's on your mind, and thank you.
So in your programs, it says this next song is by Irving Berlin, and he certainly wrote a lot of great songs, but this is not one of them. This one's by Irving Gordon. It was recorded back in the 50s, and then after that singer passed away, through the magic of recording technology, his daughter was able to do a duet with her father. Unforgettable, that's what you are. Unforgettable, though near or far. Like a song of love that clings to me, how the thought of you does things to me. Never before has someone been more unforgettable in every way, and forevermore that's how you'll stay. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too. Unforgettable in every way, and forevermore that's how you stay. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too. Great. Nat King Cole and Natalie Cole.
Unforgettable. So, the announcements. Your announcements are on the back of your order of service today. So you can please read those at your leisure. And now we're going to move in our time of conscious giving. So if I can have the ushers please come forward. So I invite you to consider that the same portal from which we give from is indeed the same portal from which we receive. Let's expand to become bigger givers, bolder givers. And once we do that, we become bigger and bolder receivers. So join me in placing your tithe and gifts and offerings over your heart as we affirm together. I'll read it and then we'll repeat it together. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift and I send it forth to heal. I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world. And it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
As I give, so do I receive joyfully and gratefully. As I give, so do I receive fully and freely. God is a river where abundance flows. Stepping into it, I accept and know. As I give, so do I receive. As I give, so do I receive.
And for those of you watching remotely on Facebook Live, you can push the donate button to donate. We accept Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, and checks in our secured mailbox. So I ask everyone to just extend your hand in this blessing. I bless these tithes and gifts and offerings, knowing that they are sufficient to cover the needs of CSL Redlands, which is a successful idea in the mind of God. A successful idea in the mind of God. I give thanks for each and every person here that has given of their time, talent, and treasure. How good it is to speak these words of truth and know that they are so. And together we say, and so it is. And I just want to send all of you love. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being attentive. Thank you for sending love my way as I send love to you. Just thank you. I am so grateful to have each and every one of you here. I am so grateful to have each and every one of you that are listening on Facebook Live or YouTube. So now, for the closing prayer, I will ask that my practitioners and ministers just please come forward. I want you to see who they are. I want you to know that they are the praying arm of the center, that they are practitioners, powerful beings of light, powerful beings of light. So I know that there is one power that is God, one presence that is God, the living Spirit Almighty, that moves and has its being in through each and every one of us. I know that as I look upon each face here, I see the face of God reflecting back to me. I know that you are individualized expressions of God. And I know the truth of your being. I know the truth of who and whose you are. I know that there is no lack, limitation in your life. I know that there is no dis-ease that can't be recognized, what do we say? There's nothing to be healed but the truth to be revealed. So we reveal it today, right here, right now. Oh, how great it is to be standing before you in prayer. To know the truth of your being, to know that this same God, that you look out there and you see the mountains, made you, made me. Wonderfully, perfectly, beautifully. And so what I know about this mind is it creative. As it created us, we have a mind to also create. So from this day forth, we anchor into our truth, the truth of who we are. And we change those thoughts from negativity to lack, from limitations. We change it and we transmute it and we send it up. And we know the truth and we know for ourselves that there is nothing, no part of us that can ever be hurt or harmed when we know the truth of our being. So I just give thanks for that today. I give thanks for everyone who has poured into this service. I give thanks for you. I give thanks for the people. The divine presence on this planet is you. So as we go forth from this place, I just say blessings. Blessings to you, each and every one of you, and your families, and your children, and your children's children. Blessing. And we are the outpicturing. We are represented. So whatever we do, however we love, however we give, however we care, this is what we are sharing. This is what we're teaching to our children. This is what they see. So we have to be that representation of God, expressing, loving. We are the face of God. Everyone that looks upon us, I don't have to say that I am. They can see it in my energy. They can see it in my smile. They can see it from out of my eyes. And as we do this, and as we allow ourselves to step into the fullness of God, as expressing as us, we allow other people to do the same. We give permission almost for everyone to do the same. So we say we want a world that works for everyone. And so we start with ourselves. Yesterday I had the privilege of doing the meditation for the practitioners from the Ukraine. And let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me. And as it begins with me, and I give it to you, it has a ripple effect. And so this is what we want to put in the collective consciousness. That race consciousness that's out there. We want to bring love. We want to put out peace. We want to put out joy and acceptance for everyone. For everyone. For everyone. So with great gratitude, I just speak my word into the action of the law. And I send healing and love out to the world. And so it is. Thank you, practitioners. The practitioners are available after service to give prayer. All right, Gilman, I'll let you do your thing.
So our closing song is written by our own Al Yankee, but he's not here. I don't know this song very well, so you're going to have to help me. The words are on the back of your program when I get to the chorus. I used to think I would always be alone, separate, misunderstood. I spent my days in quiet desperation. On the outside, things looked good. Then I discovered the error of my thinking, the lie at the base of all my fears. So simple that it turned my world around. Why did it take so many years? Now I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my mind wide open. Yes, I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my separation, no matter what it looks like. No separation, no matter what they say. No separation except what I imagine. And I imagine separation's gone away. Now I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am going with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. Let me hear you now. I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am going with my mind wide open. Yes, I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. Keep it going, come on. I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am going with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. Wide open. Wide open. Wide open.
All right, there's no separation. There's no separation from the pie and the peach cobbler that we have for Father's Day. So, and ice creams, pie and ice cream. Thank you. My husband loves peach cobbler, so there's going to be no separating him from that. All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ellen.